Tell your parents that you're grown. Tell them you ain't coming home. Tell them if they didn't want a soldier, they should have sent in the drone, the drone, the drone. If they didn't want this real shit.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so then I'm gonna play this one. Surprise! Cancel plans. Discard the current goals. Also, all other players must discard a goal or a random card from their hands. So, does this mean the whole stack of goals? So we're discarding those, and then everyone here has to discard a goal or a random card from their hands.
Damn, I was gonna change the hand limit to 4.
It's okay. And then,
I have to get rid of the one I have?
Yes.
oh shit.
I don't have cards either. No.
Shit, sorry,
Wow.
guys. And now I also pick another one and play it right away, right? It's a new rule. Hand limit 2. Okay, cool.
And then make sure you have 2. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Draw 4.
Yeah, you draw 4 now. This is so cool.
This is
Oh shit.
He's so tired.
I went to the
park. He was like running a full soccer field.
The dog park's just sick.
No, we went to the people park.
Oh, the people park. Play that.
Bad.
Goodbye.
Wait, will you read it?
Yeah,
Fetch
trash
that
the
ball.
new rules.
You like
A new rule.
So I'm getting rid of the hand limit rules.
I'm glad you're getting along with that.
Is it A
It's
or all?
1. Select one of the new rule cards in play and place it in the discard pile. So just pick one.
I'm getting rid of the hand limits.
Yeah, he's picking one.
Oh.
He's just doing that one.
He's like,
It's
whoa.
like, don't touch it.
The card that was below it is
The hand limit.
invalid.
We need Marceline.
This is in there too.
Wait, what happened?
I
You
placed a
drew
goal,
4 and then you placed one down,
and then I had to draw and play it immediately.
and now you have how many cards in your hand?
2 cards.
Oh, but we don't have that rule anymore.
Yeah.
Shit. Alright, your turn, Aaron. Hope you can
Okay.
keep up with this. Hope you can keep up with this changing game.
Yeah, I get to play draw 4.
Yep. Yep. I like to draw 4.
I draw 4. You don't want no more.
Ooh, we don't want no more.
Okay. So now I play
What
one,
did you try
or I
No.
draw another.
You play one, yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes. But I put my keepers out.
Yes.
It's cheaper to keep her. All right.
What does it mean if? That they're candy people.
Yeah, because sometimes it'll just say candy people.
Mm-hmm.
How many cards do you have?
2.
You?
2.
You?
2.
Christian always has good cards, and this one says trade hands
have?
with
I have a creepy.
one of your opponents.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is one of those times when you can get something for nothing.
You want to trade?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Whoa.
You really didn't get much.
No, I didn't. You are no longer my good luck charm.
Good thing.
So
And then you
here
can
we
play,
are.
you can pick one up and then immediately play it.
Yeah, that's another rule.
Oh yeah, that's still in motion. I think I enacted that one. Ooh, he's an angry lemon grab.
Ooh.
Lemon grab. Ooh, he looks. This is.
Adam, draw 4.
Okay. This is Corey. And that's Dina.
Oh, that one's cute.
My little donut. My little crumpet. My little churro.
Hey. Oh, never mind. I thought it was a different goal.
That's funny thinking of it as your coworkers.
I'm sick.
Okay, draw 3 cards, steal a keeper, and discard any card in play.
Okay.
This
By the
is
way, that new
adventure
rule says you
time.
may, you don't have to.
You don't. Oh. Well, we will.
I'm gonna do it. What does it mean by discarding cards in play?
Any ones you don't want, I think.
Oh, it
Oh,
says
okay.
choose one of these.
Oh shit.
So
Oh
you
shit.
either A, draw 3 cards,
Get rid of magic portal.
B, steal a keeper, or C, discard any card in play.
Get rid of magic portal.
So you picked up 3 cards.
Yeah, I already picked up 3 cards, so
Okay.
Did you
cool.
not want to
Damn
do
it.
that?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
Do you want to do the magic portal and pick one up and put it right back down? You don't have to, but you can.
I'm just gonna chill. I'm really confused right now, you guys.
Okay.
So
Talking
I'm just
about
gonna
magic.
chill. Do I have to get rid of some of these?
Nope.
No,
No?
you're good. We don't have a hand limit.
Okay.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this.
I kind of am liking it a lot.
Yeah?
I'm sorry it's stressing you out so much, Adam. I feel bad that it's stressing you out, but I really like it. You got a freaking keeper.
Okay, I have a creeper, and his name is Hansen Abadir. You cannot win if you have this unless the goal says otherwise. During your turn, you can steal Marceline.
I want Marceline.
Marceline's always getting stolen.
Oh. Do you want to do magic portal?
No, I have to play one still.
Oh, okay.
What do we got on the table? Marceline and Ice King. And we got nobody out there.
We don't have any Marcelines on here yet. Don't break it.
This is intense.
You broke it.
Don't break it.
Okay. Okay, so what I need most is for you to tell me, like, in the back parts. So none of this is light at the top back here, is it? Oh my god.
No, it's all dark.
Even at the very top?
Oh. It's a little bit lighter, but not significant.
Yeah, it's a little. It's a line.
Buck it up, buck it up, buck it up.
How did you do this? Because it's horizontal.
It's horizontal?
Yeah,
You
what's
see
going
it?
on right now?
You see it?
Yeah,
Where's
they're like
it lighter?
lines.
Where's it lighter?
It's lighter right here.
Oh, I mean,
And then
in
here.
this section.
And then right there.
Where?
Yeah.
Where's it
right,
lighter?
like along your ear line.
Right there.
Yeah, all along here.
It's because
like
the hair
right
there is
there.
a little bit finer.
But then, okay, and then it's just like dark right at the root. But it's not, I don't know. I
We're
mean,
gonna
it's-
figure this out together.
Okay.
So this one, it's dark all the way, right?
Yes.
Not,
This
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Dark all the way?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with this chunk. This is really scary. And put bleach on it. We're just gonna put bleach
Oh,
on
that's
it.
a lot. All right.
We're just gonna put this on there. It's light at the bottom, so
Bleach is blue. Interesting.
am I getting in, it's all dark? Am I getting into am I putting bleach on any lighter parts?
No.
Okay.
Are you just gonna let your hair hang after that? Where are you gonna put it? You're
Mhm.
gonna clip it up.
I'm gonna let it hang.
Okay. On the shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Off the wall. Off the wall.
Okay. So I think that's about all of this strand.
I feel like I should have brought my little comb and like my little hairdressing kit. Probably.
Now we're
I
gonna
could
get
throw
this
something
one. Cause why not? We're just gonna get this one. Is it lighter at the top in this one?
You can go from like right there down.
Okay, will you hold it off so I can't get to the lighter part?
Yeah.
If I get in the lighter part, we're fucked. So we're gonna try not to get in the lighter part.
What if you don't get all the dark?
That's okay. I'm not gonna. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next one. We're gonna take one like right here. Why not? Right here.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
And so, is there a lighter part up here? I don't see one. Do you see one?
No.
Okay. So, let's get this one.
Okay.
We're fucked. This is all bad. I'm fucking. Oh no.
What was Rhoda's doing?
I don't know, but I didn't want to ask her for help because she always tries to force her help on me when I don't want it. So if I actually need help, I'm not going to ask her. Don't put this in the podcast. And then I tore it open with my teeth. I'm just kidding. I did not tear it open with my teeth. It's bleach. I would probably die. Okay.
Are you gonna do it in here?
No, I'm only mixing it.
That was a silly question. I'm just really enthralled. I've never seen it done
This
like
looks like
this.
cocaine.
This is zit lag. This is my zit lag. This is when you come back from fighting only to find your village, your camp, your home smoldering in rubble, and the women and children massacred. This moment in my life, I've taken an L. I've taken an L. And the thing about losses is that they really don't physically hurt that bad. But that can fuck up a motherfucker's mentality. That can discourage you. It can scare you. It can make you seem like all hope is lost, that we are set behind at our plans. See, some of y'all didn't grow up. I went to Christian school growing up, so the Bible, that's secondhand nature for me. But it was re-presented to me. Ziklag is when David and his people come back from fighting war. And y'all know I've been fighting for my civil rights. And it can seem like I lost. It might seem like I lost because I have been wrongfully, illegally evicted. And because of this system, in defending myself, I had to leave what was vulnerable behind and trust that my enemy would fight like a man, would fight like a decent gentleman, would fight like a decent woman. But you know what? They could not even show up in court. They sent their goon, Amy Fluent, from Beach City's property. That bitch is a Class A example of who is gentrifying and pursuing prejudice actions against people in real estate and redlining me. So fuck Bloomberg. Fuck that. It's either Buttigieg or Bernie for me. It might be Biden. Shit. But somebody, Warren too, somebody needs to get it together. Because this disharmony, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna go there with y'all. This is what I want to talk about. Taking L's. Taking a loss. And recently, I took a jiu-jitsu class because I wanted to roll. I wanted to find out. But there was also a very handsome man that invited me there, even though he was not the one giving me the demo. He is the initial reason I went. And he's just so cute and so nice. And so when you encounter people like that, when they invite you to things that aren't comfortable, you're actually, for me, I'm more inclined to go. Because why would you invite me? Like, you know, you saw something in me I never saw in myself. He saw something in me. He was like, your chest. He was like, your build. Yeah, you would definitely be a good fighter. And I've taken Krav Maga. I've taken the CrossFit classes. I used to go to this gym. It's right by Sony Studios. They do CrossFit, Krav Maga, and other classes, yoga. But usually by the time I took that Krav Maga class, I was like, shit, I ain't staying here for no CrossFit. But it was one class a day for this homie. But it was like, that was outside of my means at the time. In any case, I was living in Los Angeles and I needed to know how to defend myself. The one thing I really appreciate about jiu-jitsu is that you start from the bottom. The man, and I'm going to go back and interview him. I don't have his explicit permission to mention the business or his name, but the main instructor, he's a father, and two of his sons are world champion fighters. And before he started doing the demo with me, he introduced me to his son who was about to fly off to Portugal to fight in a world champion. You know, that I don't take lightly. That was a great omen. And the first thing we did was started falling. He taught me how to fall. And I was, you get a little taken aback. You're like, I thought, but you got to get used to when you're fighting, when you're in jiu-jitsu and you're in a match, to being down. We're not brought up like that. I wasn't brought up to learn how to roll around on my back and protect myself. So he taught me how to fall and immediately taught me how to disengage any danger that's on top of me. Now the thing is, he didn't teach me how to get back up right then and there. I had to stay down. I had to stay low. I had to stay on my back and maneuver from my hips, from the core. And he taught me that. The thing about L's, the thing about falling, is that you get back up. I don't care what age you are. If you have mobility, if you have issues with mobility, one thing that helped me when I had a broken leg was just getting up and down off the floor. And there were times where I dropped all my food that I made for myself because I'm trying to carry it to the couch from the kitchen, and I got crutches and I put it in a little bag. You have to improvise. But I learned how to get back up. That's the thing about an L. A loss is not a loss unless you let it take away your spirit. Don't let that thing take away your drive. My dog is puppy dreaming. Are you okay? All right. I guess I don't know what he's dreaming about, but he decided to bark in his sleep. Because it's 2:30 a.m. and yesterday was a day I never thought I could survive. Because in some regards, people would say I took a fat L. In some regards. And I thought I did too, but even the more I talked about it, I realized my attorney that was provided by the Riverside County Homeless Prevention Grant, thanks to Gavin Newsom and some politics that are actually doing some shit that help people, he came and represented me pro bono. He was going to get paid the same amount if he wasn't there or he was. And I got a little nervous, but I got there 45 minutes before my trial. Shit. I needed to know. And then the other attorney was walking up and down the aisle talking about, is anybody here for this case? And yeah, I was there for that case, but I'm not talking to you until my attorney's present. If you are dealing with a legal matter or the cops, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You let your attorney talk for you. That's what they went to law school for. That's why you're paying them. Or the state is paying them. But I was very glad that there was also the Riverside County Legal Aid. And they will announce when you're approaching the courtroom, hey, we're here for free. If you don't have representation, we will provide it. They told me that. So I had two nonprofits having my back. Should my lawyer that decided to represent me not show up, I could have gone to that paralegal and she would have paired me up with an attorney that would have represented me on my case. My landlord made it illegal for me. No, he made it impossible, not illegal, for me to pay and remit rent. And then wreaked havoc on my life, dismantling the wheel on my car, which resulted in me missing work, which resulted in me getting terminated from my job. And, you know, they classify me as an independent contractor. Thing is, I'm not an independent contractor, motherfucker. If I come in and sit at your desk, unless I'm bringing the computer in with me, no, that's an employee. So that's why you gotta know, this is why. What looks like an L to some people, yeah, I got 2 weeks. I got 2 weeks of free Wi-Fi. I got 2 weeks of shelter that I can predict. That does not mean I'm going to be homeless in 2 weeks. I have 2 weeks to get it to, not even just together, but to transition. So, with the heart attack happening, with my health on the line, and now the wellness and protection and shelter of my dog on the line. It would be one thing if it was just me. But now you got my dog tied up in this bitch. And everything that I have against them, this case today did not address. So, what do? When you're down on your back in jiu-jitsu, one thing that man taught me, and I was on top of him. He said, come on, he was like, and he had his feet up on me. He said, you see how I can control you with my feet? With my feet from the bottom. He didn't even have leverage, but then he learned how to access leverage. And he taught me how to access leverage from when you got your back, when you're down, when you're falling. You access your leverage. See, don't forget about your feet. You thought the feet were just meant to be planted on the ground, but feet and legs are very powerful in the air. Feet and legs are very powerful in the air. I don't know if you've seen those birds that can, like an eagle, dive into the ocean. They're made for the air, but they're very powerful in the water. And it's very disarming to be on the opposite end of someone who's got control over you, and yet you're over them. Gravity's weighing on you. So the gravity of my situation seemed like it was on top of me. It might seem like they won. But let me tell you something. Nick Grimaldi and Heather Grimaldi in Newport Beach, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm going to slide my hip out and I'm going to get you from on top of me because you shouldn't have worn that gi in here. And now, metaphorically, you're going to get grabbed by the collar and I'm going to choke the shit out you motherfuckers. I'm not scared. So I got out my courtroom today and I took a L. But you know what? When you get used to taking L's, when you get used to failing, you get used to standing back the fuck up. That's what L's are for. That's why you take a loss. Because you learn how to get yourself right back up. And not only am I getting myself up, I'm still fighting your ass. I'm still up in this bitch. That's one thing I can't stand to see on Reddit. Public freak out. These motherfuckers fighting and they're just, it's bad fighting, you know? And it's just one of them grabbing them by the hair the whole time. That's bullshit. If you can't get a motherfucker from grabbing your hair, you break that motherfucker's arm. You better twist up and sacrifice something. That's fear. I'm still not scared. I'm still not scared. And we will go in and we will continue to pursue civilly. Because I walked my ass right out of courtroom 4 and I grabbed a ticket for the clerk's office. And the clerk, me and them sat down and I have papers. I have papers and the papers are rolling to pursue civil litigation. Because this little apartment, yeah, it might have been a couple thousand. It might have even gone up to 10,000, any type of benefit or reward. But at the end of the day, This wasn't that type of case. They are just straight up gentrifying me. And it seems like an L. It seems like I'm under siege. When you turn off the power and the water, that's what they called in Israel under siege. Because when I don't know who it was, but somebody was attacking Jerusalem. And what you do back then, centuries ago, if you want to get a city to freak the fuck out before you even walk in and start cutting motherfuckers, you block the water supply. You block the water supply. And I will be producing episodes. It'll be maybe even on a whole nother show but about my trip to Israel and Jerusalem in 2010. One place they took us to was underground. A couple of places were underground. The first one was in Armageddon. And there are tunnels under the valley of Armageddon where the book of Revelations was written. Those tunnels are known to be responsible to emit fumes and certain gases because of where they are on the earth. And so people think that the writer John of Revelations may have been tripping balls when he wrote that book. And I don't know about you, but that's a crazy ass motherfucking trip to have, and very detail oriented. And a lot of the Bible, I think, is psychedelically inspired, but I don't think that takes away its credibility. That's where people lose me. When you downgrade a psychedelic experience as if it didn't happen or it's not real because you didn't see it. But the thing is, people are going to do ayahuasca and they're going to the same places in their mind. Like literally the same levels of consciousness. And they're meeting beings that are different from this level of consciousness. And that's why I do my podcast about the spooky stuff and the paranormal. Because paranormal, that's a heavy word. But that's what we call stuff that does not seem like it belongs here. But maybe belonging is subjective. So, you take an L, you get knocked down. But you best believe, if you feel like you have lost over and over, you feel like the world is out for you, the best thing my Auntie Tracy told me last week, the best thing, it was this week actually, she said, you know what? Can't nobody knock you for at least you tried. At least you try. You get back up. When you take an L, get back up. And it sounds harder than it really is, because honestly, in the moment, a motherfucker knocks me down, I don't even feel how I broke my elbow getting back up, you know? I just had to fucking get up. Next thing you know, that's when, you know, after a fight and you looking at your cuts and bruises, you're like, I don't even remember them biting me. I don't even know where that came from, officer. And I had a little interaction with the cops yesterday, and I will give a commendation to the Palm Springs Police Department. I'm very appreciative for your guys' protection, your service, and your respect, because I am not always stable. I'm very emotionally eccentric, and I'm on some new medication, but I'm also not stupid. So when people are trespassing that don't live here, and they have the same key that opens up where I store my personal belongings, you know, if maybe they can, maybe they can't. But when strangers show up and they have cameras and they're filming where I live, where I sunbathe and touching my property, no, bitch, you're getting the cops called. The cops came and I asked them, would they be treated like this if they were black? And immediately he said no, because he was immediately on their side. I'm the black one. But little do you know, I've worked for Law & Order SVU. I've worked for Chicago PD for years. So don't tell me I'm out here trying to call you a pig or something. No. And they were very level-headed. They were very rational. But I also know my rights. And I'm disappointed that, they got to stay and the cops had to stay present to keep the peace. But that's what police are for. But at least I did something. At least I didn't just let them walk over me, because there have been strangers showing up where I live, because this place is for sale and it's listed on Facebook, and I was never properly informed, and I am now what people would think is losing. But the thing is, yeah, this lawsuit might have been between one or two of us. I'm bringing a case against everybody that has disrupted or dismantled my life. So, let it be known here. Anything happens to me, y'all better come after the Grimaldi Trustees Fund and Canyon Group LLC. Her name is Miss Groves. I don't give a fuck, because I'm up here fearing for my life, but I'm not scared anymore. And I never thought I'd be this strong. I never thought I'd be this strong. And every step of the way, City Hall, City Council, KCLA, Stuck Podcast, they're talking about homelessness prevention. Then do something. Then do something. Because today I did something. And what is happening now is wrong. It violates my civil rights. It's blatant discrimination. And this is not over. I'm getting back up. Even just by producing this episode, I'm getting back up. I'm mad. I'm hurt. But I don't want this to happen to somebody else. People should be able to live their lives freely. If I have to stand up and pledge allegiance to a flag, that flag should protect me just as much as it protects the rich. And it's not that I'm poor. It is not that I'm poor. Money was never the issue in this matter. It was my race. It was my sexual orientation. And that's why I became a fighter. That's why I became an activist. That's why this matters. And you matter. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Whew, y'all. Whew, child. I'm going through Ziklag. I done come back and everything's desolate. Ain't no women there. They all been raped. My kids, my firstborn sons, my children are gone. Now, thank God my dog was all right, but best believe they knew I was at court. I was keeping my Simply Safe camera on my dog all day, because that would be an opportune time if you wanted to fuck with me. But when you are under siege and someone cuts off your supply, one thing I learned, well, a couple of things I learned, but one I'll mention right now, because I really want to talk about Israel. I do, but that is such valuable information that I have to build up the market for it. I'm not going to release that without knowing there's a precedent set, because that'll be multiple episodes, and it's very spiritual, it's very powerful, and I have seen some things. Man, I've seen shit, dude. Hezekiah, he was the king of Jerusalem. Before they even came under siege, Hezekiah went low. He went deep. Somebody thought he was taking an L. What are you doing? But when I went to Jerusalem, there were tunnels under the city I was walking through. Sometimes stepping in like knee-deep water, because these tunnels are still aqueducts. So even though the enemies that came cut off the main water supply, prior to, Hezekiah had already gone lower. No, bitch, you want to go low? You want to starve women and children? You want to discriminate? You want to evict? And you're going to cut off supplies and utilities? We already set a precedence to go. We came out from underneath you. That's what Hezekiah did. Oh, bitch, you thought you can go low? See, you clearly don't know how low we've gone. We've been prepared for this. Doesn't mean it's easy. And it takes time. And it takes time. My last name is Hunter. Time is my weapon. You could put anything in my hand and I'll slay. But it's the timing that matters for a hunter. It's the patience, it's the endurance to stay awake, to stay alert. I'm grateful for it. It can be a blessing and a curse. But at the end of the day, who gets to say I've walked underneath the city of Jerusalem? Who gets to say I've been to Armageddon? I have literally been to Armageddon. I was baptized in the Jordan River. You can't tell me my life doesn't matter. You cannot tell me that. Well, you can. Shit, that's like water off a duck's back, motherfucker. Remember the people that are all over the world today. Remember them. That are running for their lives. They're absolutely terrified. Their homes have been destroyed. They've lost everything. And literally all they have is each other, and they're losing it left and right. And here we are bickering over some Facebook post, bickering over some video, dancing on Facebook. People are out there dying. The world is in shambles, and we can easily turn a blind eye. But the bad part about it is we know what we're doing. We know we're ignoring it. Well, ain't nobody in my family over there, so ain't my problem. And I don't know anybody with coronavirus, ain't my problem. I'm trying to do my part by bringing it up, because sometimes I have to level myself out and realize that what I'm going through could be a lot worse compared to what other people are going through. I get to exercise rights. People are literally running away to just have a right to live. From people that used to throw gays off of cliffs. And they probably still do. Shit. And that's what people don't understand. It's so easy for straight people to be like, just kind of blow off your sexuality. Like, that's funny in itself. That's actually really funny. I gotta take a sip of this water. You know what? We're going to cut to a commercial break, and you're going to hear about my books. Hey, everybody. I just want to take this time to remind you, my website is up and running, erhunter.live. That's erhunter.live. If you can't get to that, you can find this on Spotify, on Apple, and SoundCloud. And we're going to continue extending the podcast to different platforms. But in the meantime, patreon.com/erhunter. That's ERHUNT. Excuse me. Oops. Whoa. I don't ever burp. That was almost a burp. Ugh. Feels like I'm going to throw up when I burp. In any case, yeah. If y'all want to help me cover my acid reflux bills, go ahead and donate. Even a buck. And you don't have to do it every month or whatever. It'll go a very long way. And so I'm grateful that you're tuning in. Thank you for listening if you've made it this far, because what I'm talking about is not easy to listen to, and it's not easy for me to produce, but I'm gonna keep doing it. So welcome back. So once you've learned how to fall, learning how to fall is crucial, because you got to fall where your back doesn't break. You got to be round like a roly-poly. Get low. If you're under attack, get low. And that's spiritually, metaphorically, and physically. And you get used to falling. If you're a person like me, you learn how to roll back, but you also learn how to get back up. And I want people to take that. You might take an L, but the reason you took an L is because you have the ability to get back up. I don't care if you're broke in Vegas, waiting on a Greyhound bus on Halloween. I've been there, honey. I have been there. I fucking fucked up and missed my bus home to LA. I was stuck in LA for 2 more days after Halloween. Shit. You get back up. You get thicker skin. But if you're under attack when you fall, and you fell because someone changed your foundation, they lifted you up, and they used gravity against you, the gravity of wealth, the gravity of race, the gravity of not being where they're at. If they use that against you, let me tell you something. If they're wearing a gi, if they got clothes on, if they got a knee covering, you better grab that motherfucker by the collar and choke the shit out of them. You just grab it with your 2 hands and you cross them motherfuckers and choke that nigga. And fucking roll over and get that hip out and fucking slide out, and now you're on top, bitch. Hell yeah. That's what I want people to know. This is not exclusive information, but we don't all know how to do all this. I'm 30 years old. I've never been 30 years old before. I've never been in court for an illegal eviction because someone is attacking my lifestyle, because they want me out of where I live because of my race, because I'm not who they see living here. That's discrimination. It's not about what you see. It's about what you know and what you heard. That's hope. Hope is unseen. It's the evidence of things unseen. It's beautiful. But you manipulate every aspect of whatever that attacker is doing to you. That's what you do. And it might seem like you're out, but if you know how to wrestle from the bottom to the top, rather from the top down, baby, I'm telling you, you're going to be stronger than ever. And you better grab that thing by the collar and choke that sucker. Don't come at me unless you know how to wrestle. Zigzag, it seems like desolation. It seems like I'm in desolation. But that's the best place to invite God, to invite faith, to invite hope. Even if you don't believe in a Christian God, if you don't believe in any type of omnipotent being, that's you. That's fine. My show, if you've been listening, you already know. I believe in an omnipotent being. I believe in an omnipotent being. I believe in an ever-present being. And that's why I'm excited to get to psychedelics, because I'm ready to finally chop this up, because I want to know how and why. I want to know, where do I go now? I want to know how to fight next, because I don't want to fall like this again. I don't want to hit my back how I've hit my back now. And that's okay. I'll admit that. I'm under siege. And like I said, when they go low, you go lower. You've been gone lower. And you don't forget it. I almost forgot. But the thing about it was, my attorney, and I really appreciated my attorney, he sat right next to me. He didn't sit a chair in between us. He sat right next to me, to the point I had to scoot over a little bit. I'm like, shit, nigga, you all up on me. But it wasn't like a sexual thing at all. It was a presence thing. You're never alone. You might be by yourself, but you are not alone. Thank you, Aunt Tracy, for teaching me that. Thank you. I'm baffled at how much passion has just fallen out of me. I can't sleep tonight unless I do this podcast, because I know I have something to say. I know Somebody needs to hear this. Because if you're going through it, if you've ever come home to an eviction notice, if you're facing homelessness, if you live in the United States, if you live abroad, if your house is burned down due to the Australian fires, if you're under siege from a damn terrorist group, there's hope. There is hope, and we're on the way. We're on the way. But sometimes we fall down, and we got to get back up. But I didn't forget about you. And that's what makes me grateful. It could be a lot worse. So this isn't a complaint show. I'm not here to complain. I'm here to provoke. I want to provoke because provocation has brought me this far. And yeah, I may not have handled it how a lot of other people said, you should just walk away, let it go. But a lot of other people weren't offering me money or putting me up for where I live. So you got to take the salt with that water, baby, and salinate it and purify it. And that takes time. It takes an effort. It takes a process. And the beautiful thing, my conception of God is based on water, because what I believe is that when Jesus said he was living water, he changed the game. Because what we're forgetting is that water takes on many different forms. There's ice, there's steam, and there's liquid. That liquid will flow to the lowest place. That's the blood of Christ that fell off that cross, that dripped down that cross. And I went to Israel. And the thing about it was, I went into where they laid Jesus' body, and I felt nothing. I did not feel like he was there. It wasn't until recently I realized that it's a good thing I didn't feel anything in there. Because God's not dead. He wasn't there. It would be a misinterpretation. It would distract me had something been in that tomb. But it was empty. God has risen and lived. And the only reason was for to be an example for us. So I know it might seem like you're dying. I know they stabbed you in the side. I know they stabbed you in the back. But baby, you got something that nobody can take away from you. As long as you keep it, you foster it, you cater to it, you nurture it. And it's practice. It's a practice to learn how to fall, and it's a practice to learn how to get back up. And the more and more I fail, the more I get back up, the more I rise. That's a good practice. I just had I gotta kind of compose myself because I didn't realize how much that affected me, that experience. But what has been evident to me is my passion just falling out of me, and it's just as long as I let it. And so where do your passions lie? Where are you gonna fall out? For me, it's my chest. I always thought my heart was in the middle, in between my two man boobs. But actually my heart is up towards the left. Man, this girl used to tell me this funny ass joke. Well, she would crack up. She's like, when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, remember, it's a little to the left. Because that was somebody else's joke. But it was just so funny because she would crack up. Remember the people all over the world. Zitlag does not mean it's over. Coming back to desolation does not mean it's over. The fact that you were able to come back and they got up under you and they took what was vulnerable in your life. You don't have to give up. That does not mean the war is over. It might have been a battle. I had a battle today. But this war has only just begun. Because I'm taking down everybody. Anybody that was prejudiced, racist, discriminated against me, involved in all of this collusive shit, you're going down. And I'm coming for you. This show just ain't for my fans. It's for my enemies too. Because motherfuckers, I'm not scared. And if you see me in the street, remember, nigga, you know me. Because I might just call your ass out. I don't know if y'all remember in the beginning of 300, that movie, but that boy got sent into the wild by himself. And that allegory is just as similar to the King David. And that's why, even though you might not believe in Christianity or certain religions, they all have the same narratives and allegories in different ways. I take that. I take the overarching themes. Boy versus big wolf. I mean, you thought, I see those videos on the internet of them dim wolves in Canada and shit. Them motherfuckers are bigger than cars. They're about as big as a moose. Can you imagine fighting some shit like that in the wild by yourself? That's where I'm at. I'm fighting wolves. They sent one out, but you know what? I'm going for the whole pack, because I will not walk around this terra afraid. I won't be in this flora scared. And I don't care who likes it or doesn't like it. I could let that affect me, and it might in the coming days after this is released. But I'm doing this. I want people to be encouraged, but I also want us to do right. The double standards that exist with men, as a man, I'll get laughed at if I twerk on social media, if I twerk my ass and dance. But my female family members that are under 18 are up there twerking, wearing weaves in their hair, and doing all types of shit that is above their pay grade, to be honest. I'm going to let them do them. But when your baby or something needs $25 or $30 to buy a birthday cake for their birthday, call me. Call me, because I'll still do it. I'll still do it. I want the best for everybody. I really do. When you get back into a corner, sometimes when you're fighting, it's like Joshua. T.D. Jakes, he said it best. He said Joshua was a fighter. And Jacob, too. But Joshua ran up on a damn angel. He ran up on the angel of God. He said, whose side are you on? I'll cut you too. I thought that was hilarious. I think that's the funniest joke in the world. He's like, I don't care who's standing here. And you don't know. You have to ask, are you my enemy or are you not? Are you with me or are you against me? And sometimes things that are bigger than you don't realize are for you. That's why I'm grateful the attorney that showed up today and was pro bono. I'm grateful for everything that went down and the stipulation that I signed. And I'm grateful for the pursuit of civil justice I get to pursue now. Because I do get to be an advocate for myself. And my life, I don't have much to lose. I really don't. I had a heart attack 3 weeks ago. And I give a fuck. So this shit will not stand. But at the end of the day, if I don't let this experience help other people, then it was all for naught. I'm not here to keep it all to myself. I was born on this earth to be a communicator, and that's something I even struggle with, communication, especially on interpersonal levels. I want to thank y'all for listening. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be invigorated. But I also want you to be rational and practice. If you feel like you're failing, let me tell you something. If you have failed a lot, you know how to get back up. Don't forget what you didn't fail at. Don't forget what you aced. Because I almost forgot. Today when I walked out that courthouse, I held it together. I held it together until I started walking out, and then I started crying. And I got in my car and I threw the sweatshirt over my face and I just screamed and I moaned and I let it out. Let your feelings roll through. If you want, you do what you want. But that's my advice. And I'm fucking cuckoo to the crate, batshit crazy, crazy. In any case, I usually leave y'all with a song. Dang, this one's been on my mind, and I'm kind of scared to sing it because it's a really good song. Okay, no, I'll do this one. Okay. Hang on, we're going to do one more interstitial, and then I'll be back. Like I said before, I appreciate y'all listening, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, shared the show, reviewed it, and just 5-star on Apple, Spotify, wherever, SoundCloud. Do what you gotta do to show some support. And if you can, go to erhunter.live/Patreon. We are in desperate need of financial help with producing the show. Regardless of my living situation, that's why I'm doing this on my phone right now. But I have a desktop, and season 2 can get as loud and crunk as season 1 did. But we need the proper equipment and the proper facilities. And so I can't do that without y'all. So until then, it's going to be rough like this. But I'm not ashamed of that. And it's a humbling experience. But I want to give y'all, I got so much music, so many songs just wrapped up in my head. And I'm just really, really grateful. I want to say thank you to everyone. My friends that I've known now for over a decade. Thank you. Thank you for reaching out after my heart attack. Thank you for reestablishing our relationships. And thank you for letting me know I'm worth being alive. To all my family members that unfriended me on Facebook and never called, fuck you. This song is called Drones. Eyes redder than the devil, stride wider than the Grand Canyon. Looks like he knows what he's doing, so they expect him to lead them. If the ground left your feet, would you fly like Mercury? Delivering invites to parties when redemption is what you need. Tell your parents that you're grown. Tell them you ain't coming home. Tell them if they didn't want a soldier, they should have sent in the drone. If they didn't want this real shit,